Breaking news here on WLWT. Police are confronting an armed suspect in Clinton County after a threat at the Cincinnati FBI building. We are live with what we know so far.
And one more push of rain before refreshing air settles in. Who sees another shower coming up?
And a house explosion leaves 3 people dead in Indiana. The latest on that investigation next.
This is WLWT News 5, leading the way with breaking news.
That breaking news, police confronting the suspect in Clinton County who officials say made a threat towards the FBI building in Cincinnati. So 2 different scenes here. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kelly Rippin.
And I'm Colin Mayfield. Yeah, this is an active situation right now. It is shutting down I-71 and State Route 73. And this is in both directions for both of those interstates and highways. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson at one scene in Clinton County with what we know so far there. Karen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, good afternoon. That's right. Just starting from the beginning here, this all started outside the FBI offices in Cincinnati. My colleague Brian Hamrick has been outside there all morning and will bring you the latest on that situation. Meanwhile, right here in Clinton County, it is important for people to know a lockdown does remain in effect. The lockdown is within a 1-mile radius of the intersection of Smith Road and Center Road. Police are telling residents and also businesses to remain vigilant, and they should lock their doors. I can tell you that we have confirmed law enforcement officers, they have traded shots with a male suspect who's wearing a gray shirt and also body armor. Now, again, from what we've been hearing after the incident started with some kind of threat at the FBI office, that guy fled northbound on 71, going through Hamilton County, making their way into Warren County and into Clinton County. We did hear some radio traffic that possibly that suspect was firing at officers that were following him north. Again, we're trying to get all of that confirmed. But the important part here in Clinton County is that people who live in the area that I just mentioned should lock their doors. We are here at the Cedar Creek Flea Market, which is several minutes away from the situation. They are keeping us back. This is the staging area. We are expecting a spokesperson with the Ohio State Highway Patrol to arrive here at any moment with more information. Of course, as soon as we get anything confirmed or any more information, or if we find out this lockdown has been lifted, we will make sure to pass it along to you online and on the air. We're reporting live in Clinton County. Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Karen, I know you just got on scene about 45 minutes ago. I saw in Brian Hamrick's live shot, and we'll get to him in just a couple of minutes, Homeland Security even going to that FBI site. Have you seen any activity outside of just Clinton County sheriffs or any other departments up there right now?
You know, there are some deputies around, but I have to be honest with you, they are keeping us pretty far back. We do not have a visual of the scene at the moment because this is this is a dangerous situation. So they are trying to keep the public, including us, the media, kind of away from the scene while they deal with this suspect. We did hear that maybe shots were fired. We don't know if the suspect was hit, but we know the lockdown does remain in effect. So again, of course, if we get any more information, we'll pass it along.
All right, Karen Johnson reporting for us. Karen, thank you.
All right, and that suspect believed to have made a threat towards the FBI building in Cincinnati.
And that's where we find WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick, who's been able to speak with some people on scene and also let us know what the investigation looks like as it unfolds there. Brian.
Yeah, Kelly, well, the FBI has confirmed that there was a potential threat here. Apparently, a person armed with a gun showed up here. And then left. They haven't said exactly how long they were here. Let me show you what's happening right now here. This is the FBI Center in Kenwood, technically Sycamore Township. This is the evidence collection team. They're here. They've been out here for about 20 minutes or so. They seem to have a lot of interest in this window. This is in the checkpoint going into this FBI center. It's very secure here. There's a huge fence up around the place. You have to go through this checkpoint. Then there's another checkpoint as you go inside there. So it's a very secure facility here. Now, there are conflicting reports of the person wearing body armor. So some have said that he had body armor. Others say so. It's not clear exactly what this person was wearing when they got here. Also, not sure how long they were here or what exactly he did, if he got inside or if all of this happened in the parking lot. We've asked FBI agents about this. They haven't provided that information at this point. So at some point, though, this man took off from this area. Again, it's not clear whether FBI agents chased after him, but once he got onto 71 71 headed north. That's when the Ohio State Patrol took up the chase and then ended up there where Karen has been this afternoon. So for now, Homeland Security is here. They're federal police that show up to these protection for, it's called their Federal Protective Service Police. They're here. They're on the scene. We have video earlier this morning whenever the crews showed up. The very first crews to arrive were the Sheriff's Department. They showed up on the scene very early, and then they left, and these other federal agencies then took over. Again, the Ohio State Patrol involved in all this. So, but the one thing that they wanted to make sure at this point, FBI says, even though there was a potential threat here earlier today, that there is no threat to the area, and the person that was involved in this is now up there where Karen is on that scene. So everything's under control here. However, they are collecting every piece of evidence they can to try and tie this person to what's happening up there. They'll have to do all that in order to make this case solid against them. They will have other things like cameras. There's a number of cameras here on every corner of the building. So it'll be a evidence collection process as they get through this, and it could take some time. Again, this is all still developing. We'll continue to keep you posted as we receive new details. Reporting live, Brian Hemrick, WLWT News 5.
And Brian, we got the statement from the FBI just a short time ago. They referenced that the person attempted to breach the visitor screening facility. You mentioned earlier this morning, this is a fairly new building. Do we think that helped de-escalate the situation there faster?
Well, it would have been very difficult for this person to get in. I mean, if they would have tried to climb the fence here, that would take some time to get up over that fence and some effort. So that would definitely stall someone out. You got to go through this building here. I'm sure the glass and everything in here is secure. So, yeah, I'm certain that the security measures here in trying to keep people they don't want in out had a lot to do with this person not getting into the facility. But again, it looks like whatever, they may have touched this glass, they may have had their hands on it, but there's a lot of interest in what's on the outside of the window here. So they may be looking at getting fingerprints off of that, whatever they can do to try and figure out, who this was. And then once we figure out who this is, determine why all this happened. Kelly?
All right, Brian Hamrick, and we are expecting to get updates from many of these different scenes. So as we get them, we will bring them to everyone. Brian, of course, if we get an update from the FBI, we will bring that to you here live on WLWT.